So, you want to learn how to improve your movement in Call of Duty Mobile, right? Well, you have come to the right place. In this video, I will be giving you many different movement techniques, from simple left and right movements to movement combos that you can use to outplay your enemy and win every single gunfight. In this video, I will go over strafing, sliding and slide shotting, crouch spamming, jumping and jump shotting, proning and drop shotting, peeking, and moving through doorways and past walls. I am telling you right now, this video is absolutely packed with insane tips and tricks that will help you win so many more gunfights. So I urge you to watch the entire video, as that is the best way to gain all the knowledge and become a much better player than you were before. Now, according to my YouTube analytics, only a small percentage of you are actually subscribed, so if this video helps you out in any way, please subscribe. You will pay absolutely nothing, yet you will help me out in a huge way. Plus, you can always unsubscribe whenever you feel like it. With that aside, let's get into this ultimate movement guide in Call of Duty Mobile. So to start off with this video, you want to learn how to move and aim at the same time. A great Call of Duty player once said this: hitting your shots is just as important as making the enemy miss their shots. Of course, it's really easy to aim when you are not moving. You can just start shooting in one place. It's very simple. The problem is you want to be able to move and aim at the same time. And if you're not able to track your opponent while you are moving, your movement will be completely useless. Like if my aim is going all over the place and I can't seem to keep my crosshair on my target, it's not going to work. So what you want to do is first learn how to move and aim at the same time. Look how I'm keeping my crosshair on my opponent no matter where I'm going. That is the first part you want to learn. Now let's move on to one of the easiest techniques for moving and aiming, and that is strafing. It's basically moving left to right and being unpredictable. Don't just move left. Don't just move right, move left and right, and keep your crosshair on your opponent. If you're super up close, you can move left and right super fast while keeping your crosshair on your opponent. Or if you're a bit further back, you might want to move left and right while you are aiming down sights. Next, let's talk about sliding and slide shotting. This is the act of sprinting and clicking the crouch button and going into a slide. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either slide and not ADS, and this is really good when you're super close to your opponents. Like let's say I slide, I can hit a few shots like that. Or if I'm pretty far away, I can slide an ADS like that. Basically, it depends on the distance you are from your target. Now, when you're in a one-on-one gunfight, there are so many reasons why sliding is beneficial, as well as multiple ways you can actually use sliding to win gunfights. Basically, when you go from a sprint to a slide, you will drop to the ground and your opponents will have to adjust their aim. I'm aiming at his head level. However, when he goes into a slide, my sight is no longer on him. This is one of the reasons why sliding is good, because you're effectively reducing your height, and now your opponent has to track you sliding across the floor as well as adjust their aim downwards. Another reason why sliding is really good is because when you're sliding, you're actually faster than someone who is sprinting. So let me actually show this off. So as you see, as I'm sliding, I'm slowly catching up to my opponent, which does prove that sliding is actually faster than sprinting. However, you don't want to continuously slide, because what you do is you will get sliding fatigue, and that's not what you want to be doing. And because of these two reasons, you're going to see so many pros sliding everywhere, because they are effectively reducing their height and screwing up their opponent's aim, as well as gaining a short boost in movement speed. Now, one very important thing you guys want to know is that you do not want to get into a dead slide. This is essentially where you allow your slide to completely finish. Basically, you are sliding and letting the slide finish completely before getting up. Now, the problem with this, watch what is happening. As I end my slide, my movement speed reduces by a lot. Now, if you're doing this in the open, you are easy picking. Never let yourself get into a dead slide. What you want to do is perform a slide cancel to ensure that you don't get into a dead slide. Now you can slide and jump, and this will get you back on your feet very quickly without losing momentum. Another thing you can do is if you see an enemy, you can slide and ADS, and that will slide cancel, but do not get to the end of your slide and then perform the slide cancel. It will be pretty useless. Next, let's talk about crouching and crouch shotting or crouch spamming. And basically, pretty simple, just the act of hitting crouch while you're shooting. So let's say I'm ADS and I can just crouch. It's very simple yet pretty effective, because again, you're reducing your height. For example, let's say I'm aiming at my enemy who is right here. Let's say he's also aiming at me. When he crouches, he's no longer in my sights, and this is one of the easiest movements to do to get out of your opponent's line of sight. Another reason you would want to use crouching is to limit the amount of your body being exposed. For example, my character right here, my enemy is pretty exposed and very easy to pick off. However, if he crouches, it makes it a lot harder because I have to stay on his head only. Look at the difference, ladies and gentlemen. And when you are behind a head glitch is essentially a place where you can see over the head glitch, but your opponent can't even see your gun. So it's super easy to just get some kills like that, and you're limiting the amount of your body being exposed. Now, let's talk about one of the best movement techniques in Call of Duty Mobile, and that is jumping and jump shotting. Basically, it's the act of shooting and jumping around like this, and it's really good because you are being very unpredictable. One thing you need to know about movement is how to be unpredictable. You need to be unpredictable so you screw up your opponent's aim, and one of the best ways to do that is by jump shotting. All you gotta do is keep track of your opponent and jump around like this, and you are essentially messing up your opponent's aim big time. Let me display that from my perspective as well. If my enemy is aiming around like this, he can move left and right and just jump all over the place. It's crazy, and it will be super hard for me to track his aim. As long as you're being unpredictable, you should be good to go. Now, don't just jump in one place. What you want to do is combine it with strafing and unpredictable movements, so you can jump all over the place. You can combine it with different combos, which we will be talking about in a few minutes. But you can just jump around, be super unpredictable, and take out your opponent. However, don't keep jumping, because as you see, if I jump too much, you get jump fatigue, and then you can't jump as high, and you look something like this. I mean, you don't want to be that guy. I mean, look, what the heck is going on? So there's actually another movement technique that can come from jump shotting, and that is bunny hopping or bee hopping. And basically, this is the act of sliding and jumping, but adding another jump on top of that, so you actually bypass jump fatigue. You jump, but you keep your momentum, so it's kind of hard to perform. You slide and you turn, but right as you hit the ground, I just did it right there, but right as you hit the ground, you jump again. It's really hard to do because it's all about timing. Now, you'll know you did it right because if you slide and your first jump is the same as the second jump, then you of course did it properly. If you jump a little less than your first jump, then you know you did it wrong. It's really hard to perform. Like, even I can't do it properly, but you're gonna need some practice to get it right. And as soon as you hit the ground, just jump again. So right there, I just did it because my second jump was just as good as my first one. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to do it not properly. So I'm gonna show you how to do it too early, because if you hit the jump button too early, you're not gonna jump at all. But if you hit the jump button too late, you're just gonna get jump fatigue. It's extremely hard. It has some practical use, but for the most part, it's kind of useless. So there we go, I just did it again. So there, I did it again. And there I messed up. Now, let's talk about another very effective movement in Call of Duty Mobile, and that is proning and drop shotting. Basically, the act of shooting your opponent while going prone. It's very easy. All you gotta do is aim at your opponent and drop to the ground like that by either holding down the crouch button or hitting the prone button, which you can enable in your settings. This is a great way to mess up your opponent's aim, because let's say I'm aiming at my enemy. As soon as he drops to the ground, I have to adjust my aim all the way down there. And trust me, you don't know how many times proning and drop shotting has saved me. Now, the problem with drop shotting, once you are on the ground, you can only move if you're not shooting or if you're not ADS. Because if you're ADS or if you're shooting, you cannot move. So what you need to know is when to get up. If you cannot finish a gunfight as quickly as 1 second, you need to get up right away. If your opponent ducks behind cover, you need to get up right away. A really good way to get up quickly is by, instead of hitting the jump button, it takes a bit longer, double tap the crouch button. I'm actually going to show you something very interesting. Let's say I prone and quickly hit the jump button. It gets up pretty quick, but if I prone and then hit crouch twice to get back up, it's much more efficient. Now let's talk about another very effective technique in Call of Duty Mobile. This isn't so much movement, but it is one of the most useful things you can do in the game, and that is peeking. Basically, this is the act of just peeking out from a wall, taking some shots at your opponent, then peeking back. Now, you might think, well, very simple, but there is a science behind this. First of all, you want to do it quickly. Like, this is not going to help you. Peeking in and out slowly, that is useless, and I'll tell you why right now. Basically, when you peek out and peek back in, your device has to send the information of you peeking out, send that to the server sends that to your opponent's device, and your opponent has to react. The average reaction time of a human is around 250 milliseconds for a visual reaction. So think about that. 200 150 milliseconds of extra time, not including the server delay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can do this quickly, you will destroy your opponent and they will not even get a shot. I cannot stress how important it is to peek out quickly. Do not peek left and right slowly like this. You get behind a wall, peek out, take your shot, and duck behind as soon as possible, and they may not even see you. They have to react. And that is why peeking is one of the best movement techniques in Call of Duty Mobile. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to arguably the most important topic in this video. If you made it to this part of the video, trust me, you are going to get much better at this game. But let's talk about applying these tips, and most importantly, moving past walls and through doorways. Now, when you're moving past doors or walls, like, for example, a wall would be something like this. It's not a door, but you can still move past it very easily. When you're moving into doorways or past walls, don't just enter like a normal person. That is stupid. We are not normal people. We are trying to get better at this game. What you want to do is, you can do many things actually. You can slide through the doorway, and that's pretty effective. Another thing you can do is you can jump through the doorway, but that's going to be completely useless if you can't even lock onto your enemy. What you want to do is you want to slide into the doorway and predict where your opponent is. A good thing you need to do is predict your opponent's location. What you gotta do is you just gotta slide as far into the room. When you're sliding, don't slide and stop at the doorway. What you want to do is get as close to the room as possible and slide into the room like that. Do not start your slide outside. You're just gonna dead slide into the room like this, and your opponent's just gonna absolutely screw you over. Another thing you can do is jump through the doorway, and the reason why sliding and jumping through doorways is so good is because you're picking up your speed and making it super hard for your opponent to hit you. Let's say I'm aiming at the door and my opponent wants to slide through. They can just slide through and make it super hard for me to hit them. Another thing they can do, they can jump through the doorway, and they just jumped over my freaking sights. Like, that's insane, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, these tips are going to help you out greatly, because if you can get out of your opponent's sights and kill them, you will pretty much win every gunfight if you can apply these tips properly. Now, again, you don't just want to enter the room and line up your crosshair. You can go a step further, ensure that your shots hit, and that is by aiming down your sights as soon as you are about to finish your slide or jump, like that. But you gotta do it quickly. You don't want to be slow, because your opponent will just absolutely laser you. Jump through the doorway, aim down your sights. Those right there were called movement combos, where you slide or jump through the door, turn, ADS, and start shooting. But let me teach you one of the best movement combos in Call of Duty Mobile, and that is the slide, turn, ADS, and jump. Now, the reason this is so effective is because you are changing your height levels so much. From down here to up here, you are changing your height levels, which makes it so hard for your enemies to hit their shots. And it's very effective. All you do is slide through the room, turn, ADS, and jump. Slide, turn, ADS, jump. I'll try to slow down the clip right here. You can even take that a step further by sliding into a jump shot like this, and you continue to jump afterwards to the left or right. This, ladies and gentlemen, were the best advanced movement techniques in Call of Duty Mobile. I hope you learned something new. If this video helped you out in any way, please hit that subscribe button. Again, it's completely free. You pay absolutely nothing, and you help me out so much, so please go hit that subscribe button. Also, hit this like button if you found it helpful, so more people can gain this knowledge and get better at the game, so we can all get better at the game together. I hope you learned something useful in this video, and I really hope this helped you out, or if you just enjoyed the video. But this is Delta signing off. Stay on the grind, and I will see you all in the next one.